Hello, this is Samir. I am an amateur flute player and also amateur flute maker. So I have just made this D sharp bass flute and I'm just going to share some of the things that I found. So just first listen to the tone of the flute. So some of the things that I've learned. So the most important thing is the blowing hole, and this blowing hole is more than 12 millimeter in diameter, and I think I have observed that with the blowing hole being bigger, the sound is brighter. So I would definitely recommend blowing hole between sort of 11-12 mm. It can be circle or oval shaped. The other thing is the cork. I think the position of the cork is important when you are making the multiple octaves in tune. What I observed to start with was, so I started with this cork being about 2/3 the inner diameter from the center of blowing hole, and I observed that my second register was flat. So even if I tuned the lower register correctly, the second sa, second ni, second octave ni were coming flat. So I read that if you move this cork closer to the blowing hole, then second octave becomes sharper, and similarly if you move it away, the second octave will become flatter. So if you are finding that your flute plays in tune in first octave but not in second octave, then this is the way to fix it. So if your flute is sharp, then move it slightly away, or if your second octave is flat, move it slightly inwards. Then these are the blowing holes. So as you can see, I have made them to suit my finger positioning. Again, the same rule applies here. The bigger the hole, the brighter the sound. So you can see here there is difference between this hole, this one when you open place the, and this one when you open place ni. So this is 12.5 and this is around 10 mm. So you can probably see the difference in the tone. So if I lift the, this small hole will open. So that was, second was ni. So you can hear that this gives brighter sound. So the same rule you should try to do is, have your tuning holes really as large as possible. The reason I couldn't make this one big was because if I had made this big, the pitch of this note would have increased, and to compensate for that I would have to move it downward, and then there would have been problem to close it. So if you are buying a flute, preferably buy a flute where the holes are relatively same size and really big, because that does make playing komal notes easier and also makes the sound quite brighter. Now this is the hole that gives me Shuddha Madhyam. So its original position was somewhere here, but I wanted to close it with my pinky finger. So to move it closer, you can do is you can put an additional piece of bamboo. So the lower note that I would have typically got by making a hole somewhere here, now I get it here. So that's another way, if you want to bring holes within your fingering position, this is one way of doing it. So, and then again I have got other holes. So this one will give me G and Re. But these are mainly academic, because I had this bamboo was about 95 centimeter and really good bamboo. So I didn't want to sort of chop it off. I thought I might as well make lower notes, but I don't have any means of playing them. So the software I used for finding out these hole positions, the tuning hole positions, is Flutomat. It's a Google online. If you do online flute calculator, I think that comes, and that is quite good. And it's made for Indian tuning system, so it uses Gandhar tuning system. But it's not easy to get it right because the bamboo is a natural material. Its diameter changes, its thickness changes. So you need to play with lot of parameters on Flutomat till you get to it for it to match with your flute. So that is a bit tricky, but you can do it. I would definitely recommend. Now making flute isn't that difficult. So I have this nice piece of bamboo. Then all you need is this wood burning rods. So I have got like 6 mm, 8 mm, 10 mm, 12 mm rods. So you just hit them to to burn the holes. Then the most important bit is sandpaper, because you need to really tune the holes to be in perfect pitch. So sandpaper is best for that. And for cork, I use this 5 rupee eraser. So it's easy to give it into shape and just rub it on the sandpaper and fix it. So on one side I also had aluminum foil, because I thought the sound that hits it will get reflected better. So that's another thing that I tried. So, and then again, this is the pancham hole, which is really good. So for something like so this Pare Mind is very common for like Kalyan Thaat, and it's generally useful to have Pancham on the same register, so you can play nice meets. So yeah, these were my findings. I hope you will find some of it useful. If not making flute, at least buying the flute. Thank you. Almost forgot to tell the most important bit about making flute is that there is no such thing as a perfectly tuned flute, because pitch for any note depends on your blowing angle and the blowing force, which keeps on changing all the time. So something like Sa, so as you can see, the pitch changes a lot, which is both a boon and a problem. because it's very difficult then to maintain that blowing angle and pressure and keep it adjusting all the time. So when tuning the flute, I always make sure that I keep my blowing angle and the blowing fork constant by taking the reference of the previously tuned note, so that you can play notes without making major adjustment. So I'll just finish with one thing that a very renowned flute maker has said, or at least is attributed to him, Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji, that behind every out of tune flute there is a out of tune flutist. That is, a flutist has to make sure that he's playing in tune, so that the notes have to be ingrained in our brain, and we must make adjustments to the blowing position and angle all the time, especially for playing komal swars. So for me, that holy grail of playing in perfect pitch still continues. Thanks.